This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. It's Wednesday, October 6th. At the September 21st County Commissioners meeting, the board discussed the upcoming redistricting of Nye County. There was some discussion of using an outside consultation service, as well as our advisory committee and Nye County government and various community representatives.
It's most certainly a case of political hot potato. Nobody really seems to be willing to take on this task.
Back in 2000, I did the redistricting for the county, and I think I actually recommended a committee the next time because I didn't want to be at fault for doing something that made everybody unhappy.
If there's one thing that's apparent, no one really wants to take on this task of redistricting. There are many political ramifications involved, but it is a legal requirement after every census. The redistricting can impact everything from who represents you in county government to if your residence has now been grouped into a larger town and are now subject to a change of taxes and annual fees.
I'll make a motion to create an advisory committee to be responsible for redistricting Nye County and identify membership, comprised of a member from the Amargosa Valley Town Board, a member of the Beatty Advisory Committee, a member of the Round Mountain Town Board, a member of the Tonopah Town Board, 3 members who are residents of the Pahrump Valley, 2 members who are residents of an area in Nye County other than Pahrump Valley, a member of the Nye County School District, and the Nye County Clerk.
The motion passed unanimously with no comments provided by the public.
And the Secretary of State's office is coordinating a statewide outreach campaign to inform residents throughout the state about some of the recent changes made to the state's election law. They want to encourage citizen participation in online and in-person meetings related to this latest campaign.
Assembly Bills 321, 121, 432, and 422 were the topic of discussion during a phone presentation given to the Board of County Commissioners by Mark Volshin, Deputy Secretary for Elections for the Nevada Secretary of State's office.
Among the many lessons learned from the 2020 election cycle, we identified the very clear need to spend more time talking with voters about how our elections are conducted and administered at the state and local level. The specific procedural and technical details, something that had not previously been of interest to many voters, are now being discussed at dinner tables, association meetings, and on social media across the state. Unfortunately, many of those discussions include everything from deliberate falsehoods to simple misunderstandings about the federal and state laws to which we maintain strict compliance.
The aforementioned Assembly bills make modifications to the way voter registration is handled and verified, makes changes to timelines for ballot submissions and signature curing, also referred to as signature verification.
The 2021 legislative session created a number of changes to how our elections will be conducted during future election cycles. These changes include different timelines for ballot submission and signature curing, new options for specific classifications of voters, and others that will further complicate voter understanding of an already complex process.
Mr. Volshin estimates that he will be conducting in-person and virtual discussion groups about the impact this new law will have for voters for the next 18 to 24 months.
There are some groups that are out there that are already asking questions. They're already setting up meetings. Matter of fact, I know of one that's going to happen with I believe with yourself, Mark, as well as with the Secretary of State. So, I know that we all have questions, and we have some real heartburn on several things that are in these bills. But we want to make sure we have a safe and real election instead of a phony election.
It should be noted that while the results of the 2020 general election have been called into question, no credible evidence has been found to refer this matter to any statewide court or local court for prosecution or to overturn the results of the election.
And the Nye County District Attorney Chris Arabia would like to speak to veterans and provide a question and answer session, as well as a presentation that is geared towards veterans and their family and friends. They're all invited to attend. This event will be held on Monday, October 18th, beginning at 6 p.m. in Pahrump at the Bob Roode Community Center. Veteran organization commanders and commandants or their representatives will be recognized at this event. Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office had a recent retirement of one of their members of their canine unit. A search and rescue dog known as Tango will be retired and have custody transferred to Nye County employee and animal control sergeant Susan Ryhall. Here's Matthew Davis with the story.
Wag more and bark less. It's time to enjoy your well-deserved retirement, Tango. At the September 21st Board of County Commissioners meeting, board members discussed transferring ownership of the Sheriff's Office search and rescue dog over to Animal Control Supervisor Susan Ryhall. Tango is no longer needed for his duties as a search and rescue dog due to an undisclosed medical issue. Since Tango is no longer with the Sheriff's Office, commissioners also approved the purchase of a new canine in the amount of $12,000 for the dog and $4,000 for assorted equipment and handling.
Markowitz, tell me, this dog isn't going to be just a dog, right?
It is not. That cost for that dog includes the training for the actual canine so that it comes to us ready to go. There is ongoing training, but that is built into our canine program. But that cost includes for that dog to be certified.
I just wanted to have that noted so people aren't thinking we're buying dogs at $12,000. So just want to let you know.
I got a dog for sale for $12,000.
There's a guy in town with a couple of hundred dogs that.
After this brief moment of levity, there was no comment provided by the public, and the motion was approved to transfer ownership of the canine and also for the county to proceed with purchasing a new search and rescue dog.
Happy retirement, Tango, in your new home. We'll have more news right after this.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. A man wielding a knife outside a Pahrump bar triggers calls to 911. A short time later, that man was on his way to jail.
Marcel Trujillo is under arrest and facing 1 count of resisting a public officer with a deadly weapon, not a firearm, and 1 count of drawing a deadly weapon in a threatening manner. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to Vince Neal's Wildside Tavern at the corner of Gamebird Road and Jackie Street for a report of a man waving a knife. Witnesses say the man, later identified as Trujillo, was possibly on Jackie Street. Deputies found him moments later. In the arrest report, officers say Trujillo was brandishing a knife over his head in a rude, angry, and threatening manner. Officers ordered Trujillo to put the knife down and get on the ground, but they say he refused and made several lunges toward deputies in a deadly and threatening manner, and several times told deputies to shoot him. Deputies say after several attempts to get Trujillo to comply with their commands, they deployed a less than lethal round, which caused him to drop the knife. At that point, he was taken into custody and transported to the Nye County Detention Center.
And a report of a theft here in Pahrump leads to the arrest of a woman who now faces 5 felony charges. Brad Francis has more.
19-year-old McKaylee Bolden faces 5 felony charges, including grand larceny, residential burglary, buying, possessing, or receiving stolen property, burglary of a business, and obtaining money, property, or labor by false pretenses. Monday morning, deputies were dispatched to a residence on Steptoe Street. The victim, a 68-year-old woman, said someone had stolen rings from a lockbox inside her room. She said those rings were worth about $10,000 and told deputies the key to unlock the box was kept inside her room. During the investigation, the victim told deputies she was letting Bolden stay in her home for a few months. She went on to say Bolden knew where the lockbox and the key to it were located, but she had no permission to open it. The victim also told investigators Bolden had recently purchased Christmas gifts for her family, but has no income, which she found suspicious. When deputies questioned Bolden, she denied any involvement, but detectives say they uncovered evidence showing Bolden had, in fact, pawned 6 rings at Super Pawn in Pahrump on September 9th, receiving $1,500 for them. The sheriff's office says those rings match the description of the rings reported stolen by the victim. Authorities say when they questioned Bolden a second time, she admitted taking the rings without permission and went on to say that she had misplaced one and pawned the rest. Bolden was placed under arrest and booked into the Nye County Detention Center.
Well, this is a first that's kind of exciting. The VA Southern Nevada Healthcare System, in partnership with the City of Las Vegas Office of Cultural Affairs and American Legion Auxiliary Unit 76, will co-host the first ever Southern Nevada Veterans Creative Arts Competition on June 25th of next year at the Charleston Heights Arts Center, located at 800 Brush Street in Las Vegas. The event, which will celebrate and showcase the works of local artists and musicians, is open to veterans treated in the Department of Veterans Affairs healthcare system, and entrants can compete in more than 130 categories, including art, creative writing, dance, drama, and music. Veterans may exhibit their artwork and original writings or perform musical, dance, or dramatic selections in a live stage show performance. The comprehensive list of categories and guidelines can be found in the 2021 handbook at blogs.va.gov. Well, stuffy nose, postnasal drip, sneezing or wheezing? Ah, the joys of the allergy season. Or is it? According to the Cleveland Clinic allergist Dr. Sandra Hong, fall allergy symptoms can be easily confused with those of COVID-19. So how do we tell them apart?
Things I think that make a difference and help you kind of decide, is it allergies or is it COVID? With COVID, we don't have as much sneezing and as much itching. So if you've noticed every single year for years that you've gotten the same sorts of symptoms during the fall time, it probably is more allergy related.
Dr. Hong says fever and loss of taste and smell are possible with severe allergies, but more common with COVID-19. Fatigue is also a COVID-related symptom, but allergy sufferers can feel fatigued too. However, when fatigue is allergy-related, it can sometimes be due to allergy medications causing drowsiness. Dr. Hong says simply stopping or changing to a non-sedating medication can help. In addition, a stuffy nose from allergies may make it hard to breathe at night and disrupt sleep patterns, making it hard to focus during the day. But Dr. Hong says COVID-related fatigue is different and often debilitating.
COVID fatigue, however, a lot of times people have fevers. A lot of times people actually are really achy with COVID, and they feel fatigued so much so that they just don't want to get out of bed. We don't see that nearly as much with allergies unless they're extremely severe allergy symptoms.
If you're unsure and concerned about your symptoms, Dr. Hong recommends calling your healthcare provider to help determine what you're dealing with. And if you're suffering from severe symptoms like difficulty breathing, it's best to seek emergency care.
Well, a new spa opens up in town. We'll tell you all about it right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, if you're looking to treat yourself to a spa day, and we all are, you now have a new option. The Sphinx is open inside the Calvada Boulevard Professional Building. Proprietor Nicole Nelson says she sees a need here in Pahrump and believes that she can fill it.
There's lots of estheticians in town, but lots of them only want one esthetician in their building. And I wanted the Sphinx to be a little bit different than that, so I wanted at least two of us. So that makes us the only place in town that offers couples facials, because we can do them both at the same time. We're both licensed in all of the things, but Savannah, she focuses on eyelash extensions and facials, and I do mostly body waxing and facials. You know, I'm just from Pahrump, and I want to keep business local in Pahrump, and I was tired of hearing my clients had to drive to Las Vegas to go get waxing services done with the kind of wax that I use and, you know, the quickness and efficiency that I do it with. So I do full body waxing. It's what I really specialize in. I do 15 minutes in and out Brazilians for both men and women. I do everything else, obviously, in full body waxing. I do eyebrows, and I specialize in shaping eyebrows. I also do facials. My facials are completely custom, so 60 minutes of whatever your skin needs. So no two facials are ever the same, but they focus on what you need. Savannah also does facials, and then she does eyelash extensions, both class 6 volumes and mega volume. The deals that I have personally are monthly facial memberships. So instead of paying the $85, you pay $75. It auto drops off of your card, but you get one free facial along with a complimentary underarm wax and a little gift for your birthday, and 10% off of all of your products. And I also am doing right now until the end of October, $10 off your first Brazilian or Brozilian wax. So that takes the price from $50 down to $40, or from $75 down to $65. We do gift certificates. I sold a bunch of gift certificates last month, just kind of reminding people to get them because I was doing them at a discount for facials, and they are personalized. They have the name on it. You can print them out, or I can print them out and get them to you. So it's the Sphinx Pahrump on Facebook. It's the Sphinx_Pahrump on Instagram. And then my phone number is 701-595-2972. And we are by appointment only.
Thanks so much, Nikki. You can also find out more information online by going to the sphinx.skincaretherapy.net. That's the sphinx.skincaretherapy.net. They're located at 1840 East Calvada Boulevard, inside the Calvada Boulevard Professional Building. Once again, the pandemic has been a great reason for many families to find different ways for their children to learn. Faced with the uncertainty of classroom options, many turned to online, and once exposed, many say they're not going back to the traditional brick and mortar. Kim Martinez reports.
Our lives kind of got shook upside down, and we thought, hey, we need to find something that's a little more stable.
Soraya Robbins was not alone when she decided to make the switch from brick and mortar to online for her children's education. The head of school for Stride and Insight Virtual Academies says the numbers have been incredible.
We had a huge enrollment surge this year, so much so that we actually enacted our first wait list.
For the Stride virtual schools alone, as many as 66,000 new students were enrolled for the 2020-2021 school year. While not all of these new students nationwide are making the switch to virtual permanently, a substantial number of families say they'll stay.
We decided that we liked it and we were going to stick with it regardless of how the pandemic was going. I liked it because my children were not only growing academically, if you look at statistics, most children the past year either stayed at their level or actually stagnated and fell behind. My children were working at their level and higher. And not only were they learning things academically, but they had personal growth as well.
National School Choice Week reports there are 35 states offering a free public online option for either full-time or part-time virtual learning. All 50 states allow for paid online school programs.
Academically, they find that it's if not the same level of rigor, more rigorous with what the work that we're asking our kids to do. They enjoy the freedom of completing their academics at their pace. They also enjoy the beauty of being able to complete their school day at their pace.
Tiki and Justina Brumand agree, saying once exposed, they've now decided to stay.
I don't have to wait for the teacher and I can work at my own pace.
Also, the materials are outstanding. The books are really good. We really enjoy the majority of the subjects we like a lot. We like the flexibility.
And so for a lot of families, the pandemic forced them to look at education in a different lens.
A different lens with more options and choice. Kim Martinez reporting.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
It's a beautiful day outside with all those clouds in the sky, so picturesque. We're going to find out about the big weather changes coming up right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the Channel 25 Weather Studios here at KPVM. Lovely to see you midweek. And look at this lovely, lovely weather we have. 71 degrees from Fernley all the way down to basically Goldfield. Beatty's breaking out at 79. They're feeling 85-degree heat in Amargosa and Las Vegas. Out in Death Valley, they're feeling 95 as like, cool, what's going on? And here in the paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. It's 81 wonderful degrees. That is our current temperature. 83 a little bit earlier. Swampy all day long, even though, we didn't want it to be. We tried for something better, but no, 25% humidity is what we got. Cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of schmutz coming down from the skies throughout the day. Sun rose this morning at 6:43 a.m. It's setting this evening at 6:19. Must watch nature vision. It's going to be a beautiful sunset with those clouds out there. Humidity kicking up to 33%. Hey, what does that look like for the rest of the week? Lots of clouds. Look at this. And lots of wind. Oh my gosh, and some rain. Yeah, we get the whole gamut, folks. Thursday, Friday, it's going to be kind of blowy and schmutzy. That's a technical weather term you can enjoy utilizing on all your friends. Saturday and Sunday, it's going to calm down just a little bit. Actually, Sunday, we're going to have a nice clear day. But look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What's going on? Temperatures dropping out of the sky. 61 degrees on Tuesday. That's just about 40 degrees less than it was last Tuesday. How about that? Interesting weather to look after and make plans for. Hope you're going to have a great rest of the week. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. And the National Weather Service is reporting rain for the Pahrump area on Friday. And that significant drop, of course, that you saw right there with John reporting that, we'll keep an eye on it tomorrow. And for those viewers who are watching on our Facebook stream, we are having a little bit of an internet issue with it dragging a little bit. And so hopefully that will be remedied soon. And we're sorry for any inconvenience that has caused. Well, that wraps up this edition of News 25. We'll see you back here tomorrow. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.